Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shalina Baxter, and you can just call me Lena. Before I go into my topic, I just want to briefly go over some things about how my channel came about. In the last few months of 2018, I have heard several ministers and preachers tell me that, God want me to step out of my comfort zone. God want me to use my voice more. There are some things that are inside of me that can be a blessing to other people, especially other young women. So I said that, this is very uncomfortable for me, because anybody that know me know that I don't have a problem when it comes to getting in front of a church singing sometimes. And I don't have a problem with getting in front of the church and doing praise dances. But when it comes to speaking before the congregation, or when it comes to presiding over service, then that's why I find it to be a struggle for me, because I'm shy and not shy. So it's like I may get up there and know exactly what I need to do, or I know where God want me to go with it, but I get up there and start stumbling a little bit, so I deal with that, I guess you could say, center stage fright, but I am still yet a work in progress. So I said that in 2019, I just want to do some things that's going to be uncomfortable for me and also be a blessing for others, because I do have a lot of things that I want to say, and it's a lot of things that I need to say that can be a blessing to other people. So that's a little about what this channel gonna be about, some things that I have overcome in my life, some things that I'm overcoming, or just some things that I feel like can be a blessing to you, or maybe somebody else that you may know. It can be a blessing to them. So that's what this channel is all about. It's going to have several different things going on. I'm not going to lock myself in the box just dealing with one area subject. I'm going to have some uplifting music. I may even step it up a little bit and do a little vlogging, but I'm not sure with that yet. But definitely some inspiration things are going to be going on with this channel. So now that I have my introduction out the way, I just want to go ahead and introduce the topic that I'm going to be talking on today. And it's called being saved and battling depression. That's right, you heard me. Being saved and battling depression. Now, from time to time, you will see me look down. I have some notes that I've written down. I know when I'm dealing with this topic, I can probably be like all over the place. And I don't want to be all over the place, because this definitely will be a part 2 to this video. So I'm trying to help myself stay on task by not trying to put everything out there at one time. So I know I probably lost some of you there when I said being saved and battling depression. Okay, so you may be thinking, well, how can you be saved and you battling depression? Because if you're saved, then you got Jesus on your side, so you shouldn't be having to deal with these personal issues, or these issues that other people feel like you have no right to be dealing with this when you're saved and you go to church all the time. Well, there are several ways I can answer that question, because it is a very good question. But I want to put it like this. Maybe you, maybe me, or whomever that's battling depression, maybe they're battling depression still because they have not followed the instructions that the Lord had given them to do. Do that make sense? Or maybe when they go down in their prayer time, they're not releasing everything totally and completely to God. Now, a lot of us can say, well, I went into prayer, I went before the Lord, and I gave it to him. But did you really give it to him? Did you really give that issue to God and tell him you don't want anything else to do with it? You're taking your hands off of it? Or did you really feel like, okay, well, I really want to give it to God, but then I don't want to give it to God because I don't know how God going to work that thing out. And see, that was my problem. And sometimes with some things that I still be going through, that is my problem. I want to give it to God because I'm really tired of dealing with it, but at the same time, I'm not letting go. I'm not letting go completely of that thing because, like I said before, we sometimes don't know how exactly God gonna work that thing out. But I have found through my own testimony, my own trials, that if I just would have released that thing completely and totally to God, then he would have worked it out, and it wouldn't have all these extra things that I'm having to deal with now. So not following God's instructions, that can cause you to be in a place of depression, because here you in the Lord, you're saved, you're trying to do things God's way, but then you're trying to handle things on your own as well. And when you're doing it that way, you always going to be a struggle, because you always tugging in your flesh, you're always tugging in your flesh about, okay, well, I want to do it this way, but then I want to do it this way. I wanted to work out, but then I want to do it this way, because God's timing may not be my timing. See, it may take God years to work something out, and then he can, we all know that he can work it out just like that. But it may be that that's not the route that he wants to go with you, right? That's the route that he may not want to go with you. So, let me see. Also, when you battling depression and you have friends, there are times that your friends may not understand depression. Depression is a very, very real issue, and I don't take that lightly. I've been battling depression ever since I was a young girl, ever since I can remember, which is very, very sad. But, everything that I go through, I know is for the making of what the Lord has in store for my future and in store for my destiny. So I just want to go back in the year of 2017. 2017 was a very good year for me. I had a lot of positive things going on. Let me see. In March of 2017, I actually had got engaged, and I thought that was the time for me to get married, but God said otherwise, so that didn't happen. But I did actually get engaged, so that was a positive thing that was going on in 2017. And in April of 2017, I released my first book. Yes, I did say my first book, because in the future I'm looking for more to come. And it's titled Overcoming the Strongholds Within Me. And in that book, I talk about a lot of things that had me depressed, suppressed, oppressed, all the depressions that you could ever think of. I talk about a lot of things that I dealt with in my childhood, even in my adulthood. I talk about church hurt. I talk about relationship hurt. I talk about family hurt. I talk about a lot of things. And I also talk in there about how to identify different strongholds that you may be battling with, which will be in part 2 of this video. I want to address some of that, but I'm not going to get into it on this video because I don't want to be too long-winded, So that was a positive thing that also took place in my life in 2017. And also in 2017, in April, again, I was featured in my first movie called Discovering the Pearls Within. It was a very good experience. I never been in a movie before. The clip is on YouTube if you want to go and look at the trailer of that. It's awesome. So yeah, I had a lot of positive things going on in my life, and still, I was still battling depression. Yet saved, but still battling depression. So it's kind of hard to explain when you're dealing with depression, because people that never dealt with depression, they don't really understand what you're going through. They don't understand the struggle, how real the struggle is. And when I say the struggle is real, the struggle is really real. Like, just say, for instance, you can be having an awesome day. And like I said, I was having a good year. I mean, some things did go sour in that year, but for the most part, I was having a very good year. And there would be times where I could be hanging out with family and friends, or even some of my church friends, and just having a good time. And then out of nowhere, just a overwhelming spirit, I guess you could say, an overwhelming spirit would come on me, or a weight, and it takes me back to a place of, I just want to be alone, and I just want to be depressed, and I just don't want to, I want to be by myself. And like I said, your friends may not understand that if they never battled depression. They may not understand, well, why do you choose to stay in that place? It's not that I'm choosing to stay in that place. I don't know who would choose to stay in a depression state. But I can say that I really can't describe it. It just sometimes like the feeling would come out of nowhere and you just all of a sudden just feel depressed, or you just feel weighted down. Or sometimes with me, it's like my mind, and that's one of my biggest things that I deal with is battling in my mind. It's like out of nowhere, things that I went through in my past, or even very hurtful conversations just will pop up, and I begin to just dwell on that. And that's another thing. Dwelling on that would definitely keep you in a state of depression. But I begin to dwell on those things, or even if I'm home by myself and I'm just, don't have anything to do or no one to hang out with, I begin to just look back over my life sometimes, and that can be a depressing state when you look at your life and you be like, God, I know I'm supposed to be way farther than what I am now, or if I would have made this move, I would have been so much farther, God, or if I would have did this, or if I would have did that, and you just begin to replay things over and over and over and over, and you find yourself getting stuck. You find yourself getting stuck and you feel like there's no way out. So you begin to just isolate yourself from the world, isolate yourself from people that can actually be a blessing to you when you're going through that. But instead, you choose to not answer the phone, not answer the door. You choose to just stay by yourself, because you also don't want to deal with the comments of your friends or your loved ones saying, well, I don't want to be around you because when I'm around you, you kill my vibe, or you act like you just want everybody to be sad with you, and that is really not the case. And like I said, depression is very real, and if a person never dealt with it, then they really cannot understand where you coming from when it comes to that. Y'all just forgive me with my English, because even though I'm talking to this video by myself, for some reason I'm still stumbling. But just hang on with me, because in due time the videos are gonna get better, I promise you. So okay, also I want to address how when you're dealing with depression, you be in a state where you're feeling unworthy. And what do I mean by you feeling unworthy? You just feel like you're unworthy of being around certain people, or you feel like you have to change, or you have to do this, or you have to do that just to fit in with the next person. So when you already battling depression, you don't want to have to deal with feeling unworthy as well, because that take you to a deeper place of depression. Yeah, that takes you to a very deeper depression. And the word tells us that some things only come by fasting and praying. And depending on what your issue may be, you may be doing everything right. You may be praying to God, but you may not be releasing it. You may be praying and you may be reading your word, but are you truly giving it to God? Are you truly taking it out of your hands and leaving it with God, and whatever happened, whatever transpired, that's it. That's what it is. And see, that's what a lot of our problems are. We're saved and we're trusting. We say we trust in God completely, but we're really not. Because as soon as we get off that altar, or as soon as we get off our knees at home, then that issue is right there still. And sometimes you can't just go off the feeling. It's not about the feeling. Because right then and there, you may not feel all happy and jolly. You may not feel like, okay, well, God done turned it around. But you have to trust and believe. That is what faith is. Total and complete trust in God. You have to believe that God can work that issue out. So before I end this video, like I said, there will be a part 2. I just want to encourage the ones that are not dealing with depression. If you know someone that is dealing with depression, just take the time out and just give them a phone call, or either, just tell them that, can I come over and hug you? I just, I don't have to stay. I just want to come over and hug you. Now, some of you may be thinking, okay, well, she just wants somebody to baby her, or they just want to be babied, or they just want somebody to, I don't know, just draw near to them. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when a person is battling with depression, when they're battling with depression, they're not going to always put themselves out there to be vulnerable. They might not even tell you they need help, but you being that good friend that you are, or that good family member that you are, that's something that you have to learn how to look into. That's something that you have to learn how to read into yourself. Because when a person is dealing with that, they're not going to all the time express themselves. Because like I said, when a person is dealing with depression, then they go into isolation. So you really have to kind of like weigh things and see, okay, well, maybe this is a moment where I need to really just stop by and just pay her a visit, or offer to take her somewhere, or even just give her a hug. Those things are very, very important. It may not look like they are, but I promise you, they are very, very important. So I just want to thank everyone out there that have listened to this video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button below, hit the like button, and leave some comments. If you know anyone that may be saved and battling depression, even if they're not saved and they're battling depression, what are some things that you did to help them out? Or if you are the person that's battling depression, what are some things that you go about, how you handle your depression? I would love to hear from you guys. Again, my channel is Lena B. Hit that subscribe button and share. Thank you, and I will be coming with a video part 2, so look out. Thank you.